So digital requires new operating models as well. As I've mentioned, it's no good just having the standard old architecture way of doing things. You now need to have a completely different way of doing things. And thinking about that, the way we work is going to change, right? This is another McKinsey quote. By 2030, as many as 375 million workers, or 14% of the global workforce, may need to switch occupational categories as digitization, automation, and advances in AI disrupt the world of work. We are going to change the way we work. Automation is absolutely going to hollow out the workforce. It'll still be the same probably at the top and at the bottom, but there's a whole swathe in the middle which are going to be replaced by technology. If you're in reconciliation, in finance and accounting, in invoice processing, those roles will be absolutely impacted by technology. They're not necessarily going to go away, but you might want to retrain people in finance to do something in customer services or to design the robots of the future. And that whole retraining is going to be a really big demand, I believe, over the next 5 to 10 years. But you need to be thinking about that. So how is your operating model, how's your organization going to change? Just doing things in the same way with the same structures isn't going to work going forward. We are going to work in different ways. 20 to 30% of the working age population in the US and the European Union is already engaged in independent work. We will have multiple jobs in the future. 43% of US workers will be freelance by 2020. That's a huge statistic. That doesn't mean that's the only thing they will do. They'll probably have a full-time job, but then they'll also be an Uber driver, or they will also work for TaskRabbit, or they will do something different. We will have multiple jobs, and we need to think about how we change our existing organizations now to adapt for the gig economy as it progresses. If we don't do that, if we take artificial intelligence and robotics and cloud and 5G and big data, all of the things that I've talked about, and you put it into an existing operating model and you don't change the way your company works, it's like taking a jet engine and putting it onto a Wright Brothers plane, which is what this is. It just won't work, right? So you've got to change your organization. So some final thoughts. Digital changes everything, right? It's not just a channel, it's fundamental to the way an industry works. It is an industry. There is no other industry which isn't digital. If it's impacting farming and fishing in the same way that it's impacting financial services and manufacturing. Digital change is happening very fast. It's happening now. It's not finite. It will continue to evolve, and we need to be going along on that journey with it. It requires new ways of thinking, and remember, customers, employees, products, and operations are the 4 lenses which are traditionally used. It requires flexible, agile operating models, different sourcing methods, and different contracting techniques. So a couple of things to leave you with. I've mentioned this already, but convenience trumps loyalty. You need to ensure that your products and services are oriented around your customers' individual, personal needs. And if they're not, then your customers will go somewhere else. To transform to Agile, if you're not working in an Agile way, not just in software development, which is what people think. We go into organizations and say, well, we're already doing Agile because we've got people standing up in the morning and having meetings. It's not, you need to fundamentally transform the way that your business works, both technology and business. You need to automate judiciously. If you haven't got an automation program going on in your organization, then you should have. That doesn't mean you use RPA for everything. It just means you're thinking about how you are stripping out inefficiencies from your business processes using technology, because if you're not, your competitors fundamentally are. Don't think of technology as replacing people, though, especially with things like RPA and AI. I always like to use this metaphor that you use it as an exoskeleton. You still want, it supports people who are learning to walk again. You don't want it to replace you. You want to be able to walk. You want it to support you. It augments what you are doing. We do hundreds of RPA programs. We don't see them replacing lots of people. We see them enhancing what those people do, supporting people and augmenting them. Deliver things as a service where you can, whether that's Office 365 or ServiceNow or Salesforce, but move to a platform-based model for technology and business. And start thinking about the workplace of the future now and what that needs to look like, because the how, where, what, when, who, and why we work will all change very, very fast. So I think we all need to get ready.